Welcome back to the channel, guys. So in today's video we're going to be getting a valence for the hard body. Now I don't know exactly what kind we're going to get. I'm just going to go to the junkyard, see what I can find, and just throw it on. Most mini trucks, or just trucks in general, have a valence, and most of them are almost universal. They're not universal, but you could put like a Chevy valence on here, a Nissan valence, a Toyota valence. They're almost interchangeable, and what I mean by interchangeable is their sizes are almost the same. You do have the drill holes and stuff like that, which is not a big deal. So we're gonna go to the junkyard and see what we can find. So I'm just gonna be taking my phone, obviously, and just recording with my phone. I don't want to take my camera and have them say something about me recording with my camera, or potentially drop my camera or ruin it, or get it greasy and all like that. So I'm just gonna take my phone and we'll see what we can find, I guess. Alright, so I found this dash. Has one crack here. I don't know what this is. Someone took a bite out of it, and then a crack there. But me personally, I don't mind when there's cracks up here because you never see that really, as long as this is clean. And it was a bonus because it was already removed. It was literally sitting in the bed of a truck, and it's the gray color that I want. Since mine's brown, I don't like the brown. So yeah, this is already taken off. I don't have to do anything, so I'm gonna take it and see how much they ask. If I think they ask too much, then I'll just leave it there or figure something out. It's not like I wasted any time. But I was looking at all these trucks right here, and this valence, or lip, whatever you want to call it, caught my eye. This is off of a Ranger, a 91 Ranger. So yeah, probably gonna end up taking this lip right here. I was looking at some S10 lips, but the S10 lips hang really low and they're really boxy. They look like that, and my truck is really low. It's pretty much on the ground, so I know that lip's not gonna last long. Plus I like the look of this one a little better. The other one looks weird how it's really just boxy, and then in the middle it has like a little nose, like a tip pointing, it's, I don't know how to explain it, but this one is smooth all around. You can see the other one has like a crease mark and down the middle, which I don't like, so I'm gonna take this off. This is literally all the tools I brought. So with this little tool set right here, sorry, let me show you guys. All I need is probably a 10 mil and this, and then just a bunch of little screws under here that I'm gonna have to take off. All right, and got the valence out. So today was a good day. I got more than I thought. So I came originally for the valence, got right here. I ended up getting a dash for the hard body. I'm gonna probably clean this up and yeah, throw it in the truck. And I also found a carpet. It looks really gross and dirty, but once I get some dye on that, throw it in the hard body, it'll look good. This one I dyed. Oh, okay. The phone makes it look a lot grosser, but yeah, once I get that cleaned and paint it, dye it black, throw some floor mats in it, it'll be cherry. Because if you guys know, I don't have a carpet in my hard body, and that honestly bugs me. Sorry I'm in a rush, but I just got out and it is super hot. It feels like it's like 110 or something, even though it's not. It's probably like 90. But yeah, now it's time to go home, clean all this stuff up, and see how it all fits, especially the lip. We're gonna be focusing on the lip in today's video. But yeah, I know a lot of people ask me where I get my parts for my trucks and stuff, and honestly, the junkyard, for like used stuff like body, like carpets, stuff like that, the junkyard is probably your best bet. And then if you guys want like maintenance stuff, like water pumps, stuff like that, Rock Auto. I know I get that question asked pretty frequently, but if you guys have an old truck, 720, hard bodies, Mighty Maxes, whatever it is, if you come to the junkyard, I'm sure you'll find a bunch of stuff, because a lot of people, to them, it's just like old trucks. They don't really care about them. I mean, they are old trucks, but they don't care about them, and they're like, whatever, we'll just throw it away, give it to the junkyard. So yeah, you could find a lot of good parts. I found a lot of good parts. I found long tube headers, just a bunch of cool, unique stuff. So that's why I like the junkyard. The only thing that sucks is if you're not 18, you can't come in. I started coming to the junkyard when I was like 15, and whenever they would ask me if I was 18, I would just say yes. I know you're not supposed to lie about that for liability issues and stuff like that, but I mean, I wanted parts and I was 15, so I did it anyways. Not that I would recommend it, but yeah, you gotta be 18 to go to the junkyard. I'm debating if I should remove the front bumper or not. I thought I needed to, but once I removed this little plastic molding right here, I saw that this little stock OEM valence is screwed in right here. Can't see that. Oh, there's one right there. There's one right here in the middle, and then there's probably another one on that side, and I'm sure it falls out. I'm gonna attempt to put this valence on with the bumper on and see how that works. If it doesn't, then I'll just take it off. Shouldn't be that big of a deal. And if anyone's curious as to why your valence doesn't look like this, is because this is the stock 97 valence, but it's supposed to be bent that way so you barely see it, and then it's supposed to have some corner pieces right here. Since I have the 4x4 or Pathfinder fenders, whatever you want to call them, they don't mold up the same. So I took those off, and then it just looked weird having this. So what I did for the meantime is I literally just pried it forward and bent it, and that's why it looks the way it does. So yeah, but it's just really beat and bent and from scraping and everything. So that's why I went with this one, since this one's like probably like a polyurethane material. It's a lot more forgiving because it's flexible. I got the lip on there, and it's just sitting in there by itself, so it honestly fits very good. I forgot to mention, I did remove the factory one. You can see this thing is beat, just a thin piece of sheet metal. But got this, I believe it's a Ranger valance on there. Now the issue I'm running into is, one, it's too long, which I knew. I'm gonna have to cut this down. So once I figure out all the measurements and everything, then I'll go ahead and get this with an angle grinder and cut that off just so it flows with the fender and it's not just sticking out like this. But in order to get it to be all fitted up nice, the bumper right here goes in, and there's a lip on here that goes out, so it kind of crashes with itself. So I'm gonna probably get the angle grinder, cut a slit right there, that way the lip or valance, whatever you want to call it, can slip over my factory bumper, and it will sit more like flush like that. Because right now, since it's at a weird angle right there, it's pushing it like that way. So once I get that sorted, the top in here should be able to sit flat, come back down, and then I'm probably just gonna drill a hole here, do a zip tie on the side, and I think I might just do only 2 zip ties total, because if you can see, this thing is literally, it's on there. What you hear rattling is my bumper. It's a little loose. The bracket's broken on this side, but just so you guys can see, this has a little, the bumper itself has a lip, and the lip itself, or the valance, whatever you want to call it, also has a lip, so it kind of just sits on top. And right here, it's literally pushed up against the core support in the back, so it's not like this can slip out. The only way you can get this out is by turning it forward and pulling in and doing a weird maneuver. That's the only way you can get it in or out, so it's not gonna fall out. I did think it was gonna sit a little bit lower, and I probably would have liked if it sat a little lower, but yeah, I mean, it's already, what is that, like maybe like 3 inches off the ground. So if it doesn't get too beat up, maybe I'll switch it up and go with a different valance. I know the S10 one I was looking at earlier today at the Junkyard, it looked really boxy and stuff, but it also looked really huge. With how low my truck is, if I put that on, I measured it, and it's pretty much going to be like centimeters off the ground because it's so big and boxy. So this one gives it more of a stock, subtle look, but you can tell it's not stock because obviously you don't have a lip like this. And another thing I like about this one is it kind of flares forward a little bit. So it's almost like the 720 OEM valance, where it goes forward a tiny bit. So I got some masking tape right here, that way it could follow the body line of the fender and it ends off the same. That way there's not a piece sticking out like this. I'm gonna measure and have them match both sides. I believe it's 2 inches and 2 inches and a 1/16 or something like that. I did the same thing on this side. Before I cut, I'm gonna measure everything and make sure it's the same. One more thing to note is, I know you guys saw that little tab that was hanging on this side. Both sides on the bumper have that little tab, and it kind of gives it an effect where the front, or the middle I should say, is more forward than the side. So it's almost like the S10 valance I was talking about, where it has a point, except this one doesn't have a harsh edge. Like, you can't really tell the middle. The only reason you can tell the middle is because I scraped it right there and while I was taking it off. But other than that, you can't really tell. But I like the way it goes up and then goes down and then up again. And also, if you look at it from the side, it goes back and then towards the front and then goes, kind of wraps around. So I like the way it is, and I feel like these little brackets right here, I don't know if you can see where my finger is, I feel like those little tabs kind of help keep some tension on it. That way it's nice and sturdy. So I'm gonna try to clean up the sides and see how I like it and go from there. I don't really know how to do this, and I don't really have a plan. I'm kind of just going off of what I have and what I see and what I like and what I don't like. I did some thinking, and I'm not gonna cut this. The main reason for that is because I know if I cut it, it's gonna look like someone cut it, even if I file it down and stuff like on the side. Like, I did a pretty good job, and it looks a little bit more black right here. You see that little line? And that's just because this lip is kind of dry and crusty, so I'm gonna probably put some Armor All or something on it just to give it that nice black deep shine. That way it's a little bit more noticeable because it kind of blends in with the faded black paint of the truck. And I want the rubber to kind of stand out, but I'm gonna do that off camera. I was gonna drive the truck and give you guys another view of just my driveway, because I know this truck just sits in my driveway. And the battery that I use for this truck is in my other truck because the other one took a dump, my actual daily truck. So yeah, I gotta go buy a new battery, but there's no need to drive it right now. Just to show you guys the lip, I can show you guys right here. But as you guys can see, it flows nicely with the fender right there. I cut about 2 inches off. I feel like I'm cutting the video short, but there really isn't much more that I can show you guys or throw in the video. This is just a really simple process that I would highly recommend you guys do on your trucks. I was looking at the receipt, and guess how much the total is? You guys probably won't even guess. It was like $6.76 or something like that, so $7 for a lip. I call it a lip, and that's because that I come from cars. So in cars, you'd call it a lip. On a truck, it's called the valence, whatever you want to call it. But I call it a lip. I know a lot of people are going to correct me for that, but I'm just trying to explain that that's why I call it a lip. Next up on this truck is going to be working on the interior, because the interior does need some love. As you guys can see, when this truck was going through its drift truck phase, I tore out the whole interior because I was going to put a cage in it and all that blah blah, but there really is no need for that. I could still drift it how it is, but my goal with this truck is to have, from the seats forward, or I should say the doors forward, be like OEM, super nice. And then once you look up in the roof and behind, there's no interior. It's like almost like a full race truck. So I'm still debating if I should throw these panels that go in here, over there on the A-pillar in or not. But yeah, if you guys are excited to see the new dash, I might flock this one just since it's my old dash. I do need some new door cards, so I'm going to try and get some of those, dye the carpet, and make the whole interior just come together. But I think that's about it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and found it useful. And if you guys have any questions, you guys already know what to do. Leave it down in the comment section below. Or you guys can DM me on Instagram, which is where I'm mostly active. But with that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out, guys.